A little rest to brush the road from Boo's fur, and then back to our adventuring. Minsc is an open book, with many pretty pictures. You hear that, Boo? Your keen skills of observation have not gone unnoticed. Our friend wishes to consult your wisdom. So small is Boo that he is often mistaken for a pinecone, and many secrets are spoken in his hearing. He will tell what he knows, but Minsc, of course, will translate. Oh, the pale scoundrel has his charms, it cannot be denied. But, my friend, it gives me no pleasure to tell you, Astarion is not what he claims to be. Just last night, Minsc was dressing one of his many heroic wounds in camp, when Astarion stumbled upon the scene. I tell you, he grew pale as death itself. He licked his lips and trembled so violently that Minsc thought he might faint on the spot. The truth is painful, but undeniable. Astarion is a coward. How can he fight the battles to come when he grows soft at the first sight of blood? Just one moment. You are sure? And you could not have told me this before? Minsc may have been mistaken. Boo presents compelling evidence that Astarion may in fact be a vampire. I fear my hamster has the right of it, as always, but fear not. This world is a strange and wondrous place. Minsc has seen the soul of an angel in a child of Baal. Once, even a kind banker. If the sun can bear to look upon Astarion's monstrous face, then so can Minsc and Boo. For now, at least. Ah, the Great Blade of Frontiers. A fine name. Minsc has no idea what it means, but it suits young Wyll's air of mystery well. It is good to know the city did not go unprotected while I wore pigeon droppings on the wide. Jahira did her part, of course, but she prefers to scowl from the shadows. The city needs a name, a face, preferably a furry companion, too. Mizora. This is some manner of exotic bird? What? Wyll, the Blade of Frontiers of whom I heard, is no man to deal with devils. Boo speaks sense, as ever. There is goodness in Wyll. We have seen it. If there be a devil on his shoulder, then Minsc and Boo will sit astride the other. He will not be long in coming back to himself, I think. Indeed, a berserker after my own heart. Though hers is made of hellish heat, and metal, and some manner of coin-operated device. I would never think to mock. She is as fine a warrior as any I've met. Mazzy Fenton stretched 2 spans tall. No, better. Karlach is Karlach. Even if all her parts were traded for tin and scrap, Minsc thinks this would still be so. And soon, Karlach will still be Karlach. But Karlach will also be cured. Minsc knows he is right, because Boo is in agreement, and hamsters have no need of hope. I do not wish to speak of the wizard. I could not have said it better myself. He came to me one night with a little book of mischief, full of words and their meanings. Posterior, he says. Can you say posterior? I refused. Minsc does not need to know the language of wizards. It is an inferior word, far too long to use in a battle cry, which is where a butt belongs. Gale would do better to educate himself in the ways of sword and steel than to throw these pointy words at Minsc. Ah, yes. Gale also owns a cat. A cat with wings. That is most unnerving for poor Boo. What? That is 1,000 times more interesting than anything that has ever been written in a book. Gale! My good friend! Where are you? Minsc and Boo would like to hear about the exploding! Who is Halsin? Somehow, such a person as you describe has entirely escaped Minsc's notice. How strange. Oh, the tiny, puny elf with leaves in his hair and dirt under his fingernails. His name is Halsin. How very unfortunate. Pah! Minsc saw the druid chasing himself in circles and sniffing his own butt last night. He has spent too long as a wolf and not enough as a man. No, Boo! The druid did not beat Minsc at the arm wrestling. It was not a fair match, and he turned into an owlbear midway through, and there was grease on the tree stump. Ah, well... You have traveled at her side much longer than Minsc and Boo. What is it you feel for her? Oh, praise the three! So, I will speak freely. Of the drow, I can say only this. She may be treacherous, vicious, and much meaner than she has any need to be, but she is clearly no cleverer than... She too was duped by the Absolute, and she too seeks vengeance. So long as that is so, Minsc will not judge her. Boo still will, but quietly. Minsc knows her people well. The skin of the world is thin up in Resheman, and it is easier there for things to slip between the planes. Sometimes these are wonders from other worlds. Sometimes warriors, hungry for plunder. Such visitors have inspired the saying among my people. The children of Gith live long and forget the face of death. And so they come to Resheman to be reminded. Exactly so. And the Illithids are our true enemies. If Boo must choose which enemy to fight, it will be Fisheye he dines on first, not that of any Githyanki. Besides, the children of Gith alone have witnessed a sight that I have long yearned to behold.
And for a moment, you share in a vision tinged with his awe. Imaginings of the astral sea. An immense horde of wild space hamsters drifting in the endless expanse.
The Githyanki may have Minsc of Resheman's ire, sometimes healthy servings of his sword. But for this, and this alone, they shall always have his respect. She hangs split between her two sides. Like a flipped coin that Boo once ate while it was still in the air. But, like Boo, after a great struggle within, I think Shadowheart has finally brought that coin to earth. She is a Sharin no more, and free of her wretched and evil fellows. My old friend Keldorn told me that the righteous must end their rage when the battle is done. But... when Minsc thinks of those villains tormenting our gentle moon witch, he wants to kick them in the cloisters! Not just safe. She is among friends. Minsc is her friend, You are her friend, and most important of all, Boo is her friend. I do not know all of those words, but it is clear that Boo likes Shadowheart best of all. A little too much, perhaps. It is good that Minsc is too reasonable to ever become jealous.